I think I saw that you were a Beanpot Hall of Fame inductee.
The shootout goal, game winner against Northeastern. And then I got the opening goal of our championship game.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Sideline Stories. Today we are joined by Reagan Rust. How are you doing today, Reagan?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing well. Do you want to just start with a quick intro of who you are?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Reagan Rust. I'm from South Haven, Mississippi, which if you don't know, it's about 10 minutes south of Memphis, Tennessee. I grew up playing hockey there, played all over the U.S. I played at Boston University and RIT. And now I'm a professional hockey player here in Stockholm, Sweden. So I'm bouncing all over the world for like the past 3 to 20 years. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a huge advocate for women in sports. And I also run Female Athlete Society, which is to give resources to female athletes all over the world.
Awesome. Doing a lot on and off the ice. I'm sure we'll get into a lot of that later. Can you start by just telling us your highlight from your career at BU? Let's start with on the ice.
Yeah, Beanpot. That was a surreal moment, mainly because Poulin had played at BU and they had an amazing team, but that was one thing that they couldn't capture. And so we won it for I think it was the first time in 38 years. So a really great way to end my senior year for sure.
You recently built up the Female Athlete Society over the last few years. Can you just talk a little bit about what inspired you to create that organization and what you're hoping to accomplish with it?
Yeah, so when I came back from Budapest, I had always thought about creating a community for female athletes, but I wasn't necessarily sure how to. But coming back from Budapest, I just said, you know what, let's just put out a video. And I talked about how hard it is to balance school and manage relationships and how to time manage and everything. And I think that video ended up getting almost 500,000 views. And my TikTok and Instagram DMs both blew up with girls reaching out, asking for all kinds of help, whether it was mental health or what should I be doing to train or how should I email coaches? What did you do all your journey? And so I created a Female Athlete Society to give them all those resources and give them my knowledge and connect them with other athletes that have already done it. And so it's been super rewarding. And I really do hope to create a nonprofit out of it. Right now, it's just a resource page, and they have unlimited access to me and some of the other mentors in the Female Athlete Society. But the long-term goal is to have a nonprofit where they can have these resources, they can have mental health resources, they can be able to talk to coaches or go to camps and get all this exposure. So that's a 10-year plan, maybe.
Nah, I like that. You got to dream big. And I like the idea of having a nonprofit. Why do you think talking about and advocating for mental health is so important in sports, and also specifically women in sports, for female athletes?
Mental health, especially for me, I've been dealing with depression and anxiety since I was in the 9th grade. So I've had a long journey with it, and it's been really hard to balance school and hockey and my mental health all at the same time and not feeling like I could take a break. And now there's teams in college that are giving mental health days, and I'm like, man, I wish I could have had something like that. And so I think it's really important to advocate for mental health because, we're literally balancing a full-time job on top of full-time school, on top of part-time jobs if you have to make money, which is something that I had to do. And so I think it's super important to talk about it because the biggest thing whenever you're dealing with your mental health, whether it's depression or anxiety or PTSD, whatever it is, it's the fact that you feel so alone in what you're going through. And so the more that we talk about it, the better it's going to be for athletes in the future to feel comfortable. It is the norm. It's normal to have these feelings, and it's normal to talk about it. And so that's something that I'm pushing for definitely in the future.
When I'm thinking about how there's all of this, there are all these reports, it almost feels like that social media has a negative impact on people's mental health. Do you almost see when you post on social media, especially on like your TikTok and stuff, and you were saying before how like you really want to show people the ups and the downs of it, the behind the scenes stuff of it. And it's almost like, to me, the way I see it is you're giving people not 1000% unfiltered, but like a pretty unfiltered view of what it's like to be like an overseas professional athlete or a D1 college athlete. Do you think that one of your goals through posting on social media and creating the, you know, the Female Athlete Society is to show the behind the scenes and like the down, like as amazing and, you know, Beanpot champs and Hall of Fame inductee, amazing as all that is, there's also days that aren't all, you know, rainbows and sunshines, and there's some really tough days as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like I talk more freely on my Instagram than my TikTok because it's easier to convey what I want to say through writing. But I have been trying to post more on like my TikTok and everything about like, oh, this is my 5-year anniversary of like almost committing suicide, but deciding to stay. And, you know, even if it's only 3,000 people that see it, like maybe those are the people that actually needed to see it that day. And I like to showcase ups and downs because, you know, most of the time we just get people's highlight reel on social media, and that makes it super hard. Or like you'll see people are traveling overseas, or like they're having this great time, but like, are they really, whenever they're posting all over social media? And so, you know, for me as an athlete, like I definitely had to take a lot of breaks for my mental health and just to be able to focus. And I think I used social media too as like a coping mechanism. So like mindlessly scrolling, so I didn't have to think about what was going on. But I do think that it does have its ups for being able to advocate for mental health, and just people seeing that, you know, it's okay to have a bad day, because we all do.
100%. And I think that's something that, you know, the more you think about, you know, who your audience is and who you're able to reach, creating the Female Athlete Society and having a very good following on your own personal pages too. That's something that hopefully you don't see it too much as like a burden or like a weight on your shoulders, but in a more positive light as like you know, you're an inspiration. You're someone who, you know, athletes, especially female athletes, can look up to. Kind of moving along, what's one piece of advice you wish you could give to your younger self?
I would say, don't stop working hard. Work hard until you can't anymore. And when you feel like you can't, keep going the extra mile. Because, you know, for me, looking back, like that was what separated me from the good players and become a great player. Like I was never the best player on my team. Never. Even in AAA, I wasn't the best. In college, I wasn't the best, but I never stopped working hard. And that's like what my teammates saw. And that's what I think helped my teams be successful in the past. And so definitely working hard is the main key that I would give back to my younger self.
If there's anything else you'd like to add, feel free. Now is the time. And then if you have also any shout outs or where people can find you on social media to follow along with the journey.
Yeah. I guess I want to say something about like mental health, obviously, just the fact that it is so important to talk. And if there is anyone that is listening to this that is struggling, I want them to know like they can reach out to me, or I have tons of resources in my bio, like thousands that they can look into, and that it's okay to not be okay. Because, you know, I've gone through my spurts. I'm sure you've gone through some. There's like every athlete goes through it. Every person goes through it at some point in their life. So just know it's okay to not be okay. And then if you want to follow me, I'm at ray.rest on Instagram or Reagan Rest on TikTok. And then Female Athlete Society if you want to get some resources. So yeah, like thank you so much. Like I think it's super important to have these conversations, and I appreciate you letting me be on today.
100%. Thank you for joining, guys. Make sure to check her out on the Instagram and TikTok that she listed. Check out the Female Athlete Society. Reagan's doing big things. Can't wait to see what you get done in the future. You're going to accomplish major things in the hockey world. Keep building up the community. And thank you for joining us today, Reagan.
Thank you.